What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about Bitcoin dominance, the BTC.D chart, at the request of DK Foo. DK, you're asking me where I see the cycle high for this chart being and where I see the cycle low. And I thought that was a bit interesting because most people, whenever they talk about the chart, what they care about is when is it going to move down, right? That's generally the big question, because when it moves down, that's when we see altcoins just start to rip, right? That's alt season, is when like these two only huge moves down in Bitcoin's existence as far as dominance goes, this huge loss of dominance. It's not when Bitcoin moves down. It's when the whole market is moving up and it's just outpacing Bitcoin so much that the dominance has no other choice but to go down, right? So the general question tends to be, when is it going to drop? Not where is it going to drop to? I think that's a little bit interesting. We'll see if we can figure that out. You know, I'll try, but don't hold me to it. But definitely I feel confident on answering when we're going to top off. And the answer to that is soon. The answer to that is soon. Although I suppose you didn't ask when, you just asked where. So I'm answering my own question. Hit the like button and subscribe, you guys, if you like a guy answering his own questions on YouTube here. Generally speaking, whenever it comes to the Bitcoin dominance chart, most people that are aware of this chart or use this chart or look at this chart, they're also aware of a YouTube channel called, what is it? It's not Into the Cryptoverse, is it? I just know Ben Cohen. That's all. I just type in Ben Cohen, but maybe his channel is called Into the Cryptoverse. He always says that, but I don't know. Whatever his YouTube channel is called, Ben Cohen. Anybody and everybody who's been watching this chart, you guys got to be aware of who Ben Cohen is. He's been calling for a very long time, since our bear market, really, that we'd be moving up. We wouldn't see altcoins. He's been saying that it's not worth putting your money into altcoins until we see this chart hit 60%. He thinks 60% is where we're going to top off. We're at 58.7% now. It could be easy enough to say, well, we're pretty close. We could top off here. But this chart, man, it's a big difference. 58.7% to 60%, that is a big difference in this chart, right? It might not be a big difference in the sense of these moves overall, but it's not close enough. This is fine. We can move down. 60% was his call. Being at 58.7%, that would be a pretty significant difference there. So I think with Ben Cohen's idea of moving to 60%, I think that that's fine. I think it's a nice round kind of psychological number. Let's see if we can make sense out of it in the charts. Either way, however it works, I do believe that we are near the end of this move up. I do believe we are about to commence a huge dump in the dominance, and we're about to see the rest of the market pump. It all makes sense, right? We're in that time right now. Generally, these dumps happen. This is the monthly chart, right? So this lasts for months. We see that finale phase of the cycle last for months. It's phenomenal. We're getting to that now. We just might have a little bit more of non-crazy growth left in us. Still growth, but not non-crazy. Just because this is moving up doesn't mean crypto's moving down, right? A lot of cryptos have moved up in this time that the dominance has gained value. But technically, what this does mean is that Bitcoin is just outperforming most of the market, right? Essentially, if this chart can't move up unless it's outperforming most of the market. Unless Bitcoin is outperforming most of crypto, this chart wouldn't move up. So that's essentially what this, essentially if you've been holding Bitcoin since November of 2022, you've outperformed most cryptos in the market. And we know that, right? I've done plenty of videos showing that, right? There's a handful of coins, some coins that I'm invested in even, that are outperforming Bitcoin. Shout out to the Dragon Riders on that note, right? You know, Caspa, there's Caspa as well. But there's a lot of coins that have been underperforming Bitcoin as well, the majority of the market, obviously. So I'm getting caught up on that. Let's make sense out of Ben's prediction here, out of the 60%. If we take a high, we take a low, high to low, maybe this low, because this is like the non-fake out low. But we are dealing in percentages. Maybe, I don't know. Let's do this. Let's take this actual low here. Okay, so 61869 zone right here. I don't know why he chose 60%. Maybe because it comes in line with these highs here, kind of this low area here. It's a nice psychological level. I don't know. But the 61869 zone, we're definitely in it now. I don't think that we would go too high above 60% if we did see 60%, but that would be like the height of it. I see no reason why we couldn't top off here, right? But I do personally believe we have a little bit more time before we dump off, right? Like it might not be the month of October that we see this thing turn on. Maybe November, December could be looking like the month, right? And afterwards, but we'll see. Time will tell. Weekly RSI looks very bullish. Looks like it wants to keep going up. Daily RSI looks very bullish. Looks like it wants to keep going up, so I believe it does. But we probably are very near a topping point. Monthly RSI is getting overbought. This is the strongest readings that we've ever seen on the Bitcoin dominance chart ever in its entire life. It's something to note. That's kind of crazy, right? And this thing goes back, I mean, it goes back all the way up to here before there were really any altcoins in the market, man. So that's kind of interesting in itself. We are showing we're the most overbought that we've been ever in this thing's existence. Are we overdue for a drop? I think so, right? Another thing that I want to look at before I wrap up this video here, I don't know why it's doing that. Why? Don't show this again. Yeah, lock. None of them are locked. I don't have the lock button. None of them are locked. Why is the drawing there? What I wanted to do was this. Let's see. Vertical. I want to go to 2020 May. Right? Anybody know what happened in 2020 in the month of May? You got 3 seconds to think about it. What's going on? If you look it up on Google, you type in what happened in May of 2020, it probably wouldn't come up. The Bitcoin halving, the last Bitcoin halving, that happened, okay? Why does that matter? Well, the whole thesis of the Bitcoin cycles is dependent completely on the Bitcoin halving, right? So that might have something to do with the dependence on the dominance cycle as well, perhaps, maybe. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe we can go back here even. Let's see. July 2016 was the halving here. It was July of 2016. Oops. Come on. There we go. July 2016. From the month of the halving, it took you 8 months to move down before you really dropped, before the altcoin rally really commenced. From the month of the halving this time, it took you 8 months again. I love that. I love that similarity right there. 8 months twice. Love it. Love it. Our last halving, our most recent halving, was in April of this year. And we are, from that, 6 months. We are only, nope, it says 7, don't get excited. We are 6 months. But do get excited, because we are 6 months and a half. We're already halfway through October. We have a couple weeks, and then we're going to be in our 7th month. And 7 really is not that far away from 8. Could we start to dump Bitcoin dominance in November? Absolutely. Could we, like the last 2 times, go until the 8th month, which in this case would put us in December? Absolutely. Could it be longer than 8 months? Absolutely, right? Giving it a little bit of an acknowledgement toward the idea that, okay, we're at 6 months now. Maybe we're not topping off this month of October. November, a little bit more encouraging for a high. December, a lot more encouraging. And then any point after that, we're just like holding our breath. It's about to happen, right? So anytime from November to December, if not very, very, very near December, if it were to happen sometime in January, like after December, but November, December, that's when I would expect that we find our high. And that lines up with everything that we've been expecting, anything and everything that I've been saying on this channel for the past like months now, man, is that we're going to see the altcoin rally. We're going to see the crypto market as a whole just boom at the end of this year. And if the crypto market as a whole is booming, I would bet the average coin is going to outperform Bitcoin, which would imply that we do see the dominance drop off. And maybe it drops off heavy at first. Maybe it takes a second to drop off. I don't know. The last 2 times it did drop off pretty heavy on a month-to-month basis. So I guess we'll know. But I don't think it'll be this month. I think that we've got at least another month or so of growth for Bitcoin on the dominance factor. That would line up very well with Ben Cohen's prediction on the 60% factor there. Anybody and everybody, if you liked the metrics I went over, if you liked how I analyzed this, cool. Check out Ben Cohen's channel. I don't even know. Let's go, if we go to YouTube, just to show you guys what I'm talking about here, right? If you don't know who I'm talking about, I'd be surprised anybody watching this video doesn't know who Ben Cohen is, right? Because he talks about Bitcoin dominance all the time. I bet if we even type in BTC.D, let's just see. Oh, no. I thought that was him. That's a sponsored one. I was about to say, look, he's the first guy. Second guy, Benjamin Cohen, this guy, 1 month ago. Any of his videos that are about Bitcoin dominance, you guys, I think that they're very good. He probably goes over a lot of different metrics that I don't go over. I don't know if he's gone over some of the same metrics that I've gone over or not. It seems that my browser has frozen. I've frozen. So we got a couple of funny faces to go over here. We got this guy's funny face and then this guy over here. I don't even know if you can see my cursor. It just says it's frozen. We're going to try and get the white screen of death here. Boom. There we go. Can you guys see that? No. Wow. That's so weird. That is so weird. It looks white on my screen, but I'm looking at what you guys can see, and it just looks like the normal screen still. It's loading. I basically said everything I need to say, so I feel comfortable ending the video there. I'll just wrap it up in a bow, right? Dominance is going to keep moving up over the next month or so, probably month and a half, 2 months at the most. Sometime by the end of this year, likely sometime in late November, if not December, we're going to see dominance drop, which would imply that the rest of the market pumps dramatically. Again, a drop in dominance does not mean that Bitcoin's going to drop. That's not what it means. You know what? While this is being like this, I'm just going to blow up my face, man. We're just going to blow up the big face. It does not mean that Bitcoin's going to drop. The dominance dropping does not mean Bitcoin's going to drop. It just means Bitcoin's going to grow and everything else is going to grow faster. That's all it means. So we're coming upon that. We're not quite there. Patience, patience, patience. It could happen any day, right? It's been 6 months since the halving, as far as months go. The last 2 times that we've seen the dominance drop, it's been 8 months on the 8th month after the halving. But it could be 6 months. It could be 7 months. It could be 9 months. Who knows? We're in the right area of time. But if it was to be anything like the last 2, it could be December that we start to see this thing drop down. So I'm gonna stop talking. I feel like I've said everything I need to say. I've repeated it enough times. I don't know what's going on with my internet. So hopefully this video posts in time. Take care. Hit that like button. Subscribe if you want to see more. Shout out to Mufasa. And you can kind of see Rafiki's paw over here. I don't know what he's doing. Oh, he's licking himself. That's what he's doing. All right. Hit the like button for yeah.